Welcome back to SolidWorks Live at SolidWorks World 2019. I am just finishing up this circuit board here, and I am joined by Abhishek Bali from Dassault Systems. Abhishek, welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm putting some components together here in the mobile Fab Lab at SolidWorks World. I wanted to spend a few minutes and talk to you about what Fab Labs are and kind of what your role is at Dassault Systems.
Yeah, sure, definitely. But were you having fun?
I was having a ton of fun. I can't wait
Great.
to see what I'm going to use this for in just a few minutes.
Great, that's what SolidWorks World is all about, right? So I work for SolidWorks. I work for Dassault Systems, and I manage the 3D Experience Lab at Boston. It has a Fab Lab, a huge Fab Lab, which is 9,100 square feet. And we have similar machines and more than that. But this is a very interesting format of a Fab Lab. But before that, let me just tell you why we are doing this. So Dassault Systems and SolidWorks, we are really committed to helping the world of makers with great software that we provide free of cost for all the 1,600 Fab Labs across the world. And this we do with MIT Center for Bits and Atoms, CBA, and the Fab Foundation, which is run by Sherry Lessiter and Dr. Neil Gershenfeld. And we work very closely with them from SolidWorks and Dassault Systems. So we thought that for SolidWorks World 2019, instead of bringing our Fab Lab here, let's bring a Fab Lab in a trailer, right? It's a different format, but it's essentially the same types of machines, the same technology and the same spirit and emotion, but in a trailer. So we had one of our very close, I would say, partners, Brent Richardson, who manages the Houston Mobile Fab Lab. And in fact, he is right here, actually.
Hi,
Hey,
Brent.
Hey.
Here.
Hello. Why don't you explain what the Mobile Fab Lab is and why we are here, and also about the project?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get into the
Great.
project we're doing here
Yeah,
for
let's do
sure.
that.
So
Perfect. Yeah.
Abhishek, thanks for joining us here. Brent, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the mobile Fab Lab here, because this isn't just, we didn't just do this for SolidWorks World. This is actually a mobile Fab Lab that you guys use, right?
Yeah, this is a mobile Fab Lab that has digital fabrication equipment that we can take around to schools. The Fab Lab Houston is a unique model because it's a part of a nonprofit community development organization called Baker Ripley, and we have 6 community centers around Houston. So the mobile Fab Lab lets us bring all this equipment, set up Fab Labs at all of our community centers to work with individuals no matter where they live, like at SolidWorks World and all around Houston and Texas.
Okay, so for those who aren't familiar with Fab Labs, who's Fab Lab for?
Fab Lab is for anybody, and it sounds like a crazy thing to say, but we have programs for community members from 16 ages all the way up through retirement that they can come in and learn how to use tools through tool trainings and then work on their own projects individually. We have after-school summer programs for students, and we have field trips coming from elementary schools all the way to high school and college, from education majors to 3rd graders, and then we work with educators as well to train them on the tools and how to utilize them in the classroom to teach their state standards through digital fabrication, hands-on learning.
And I think that's one of the really cool things about Fab Lab is you're trained how to use the equipment properly.
Right,
So.
that's one of the huge things is it's easy to get the piece of equipment and use it till it breaks, but you gotta know how to fix it, you gotta know how to calibrate it, and you gotta know how to use it safely so that you can help your students use it and be comfortable and confident.
Great. So let's take a look at some of the tools. I was started here. I was working on a circuit board. You were helping me show me how to put this together.
Yeah.
But this is part of a bigger project you guys are doing here, right?
Yes, exactly. So
All
the
right.
project that we're doing here at SolidWorks World is data visualization project. So we're soldering these circuit boards. You soldered this back circuit board that's holding the motor controller and a Wi-Fi board to communicate with the database. And the database is actually reading the values of the distance between the sensor, and this is simulating water rising and falling. So
Really?
the sensor is a bigger project where we're installing water level sensors around Lake Houston to measure water levels in different areas. And so we wanted to highlight that project as a social project because a lot of things we do at the Fab Lab are engaging with community members and working on solving real world problems. But the the project that we're working on is the art kind of piece tied to that data to visualize it and showcase how you can use the laser cutter, the 3D printer, the CNC mill, the soldering all in tandem to make one project to do something interesting.
Okay, so I noticed back here we have a couple 3D printers going. They're making some of the parts on the back here right now. They're kind of hard to see with the lights, I'm sure, on camera, but there's a whole bunch of pieces on the back side of this right here. But you have a ton of other equipment over here as well. So let's talk about some of the other equipment that you have in the mobile Fab Lab.
So we have 2 laser cutters, and the unique thing about these laser cutters are that we can vent them outside like a lot of people do in stationary labs, but we also have a filtration unit to filter the fumes through a HEPA and carbon filter so that we can use them inside regardless of where we are without worrying about the fumes that cutting acrylic or cardboard or wood.
So the fire marshals aren't all worried while we're in
no
here,
problems.
right?
And then the CNC mills, we're cutting circuit boards, so this is a copper clad
got this one going
board
over
made
here
for milling, and the boards that it's cutting right now are the light up propellers, and then the other mill is cutting the circuit boards that you were soldering for the motor controllers.
And you've had folks coming in here kind of working on these throughout the course of the week?
We had Fab Labs from all over the state represented at SolidWorks World. They actually were able to partner with us in kind of creating and bringing the network here, and so many of them were working on projects in between sessions. So it was a great kind of community building experience here at SolidWorks World, and we got to showcase how some of them had never cut circuits on the mill, and some of them were experienced with 3D modeling and actually redesigned some of our parts. So it was a real-time kind of project development and further building. So we have a bunch halfway made over there. So why don't we filling them up? Yeah.
Why don't we grab one of these to show camera like what the back of that looks like? Because the lights were probably a little bit bright there, but
yeah. So this is halfway made. So we have the motor. These bearing holders are what was 3D printed. So this one has like a locking screw to hold it in the right place on the cable, and then we milled some little boards to transfer the power from the cables. We're actually getting the power from the cables on the towers.
Okay.
So that'll be connected to the board you were soldering, and then we'll add the propeller to the front side on the slip ring and be able to attach it and make it spin around.
Well, this is really exciting. I think I want to come back and finish a little bit more of this. So for somebody like me who wants to come and get involved with Fab Lab, how would somebody do that? So the folks watching at home, if they want to learn more about finding a Fab Lab in their local community, where can they find information?
Yeah, so there's a website, fablabs.io, and it actually shows a map of the world, and you can see there's over 1,000 Fab Labs globally around the world, and a ton of countries and all over the United States. So you can see what's close to you. At Fab Lab Houston, we have a website, fablabhouston.org, and we have training workshops every week, and we have open hours throughout the day that you can come and get trained and then work on your own projects. So check out the websites, come in, take a tour of a Fab Lab, our Fab Lab or one near you, and get to making stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Brent, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And there you have it. If you want to get involved in learning how to use these tools and being able to leverage those to take your ideas to life, make sure you visit, it was fablab.io?
Yeah, fablabs.io.
Visit fablab.io. Well, stay tuned to SolidWorks Live. We're going to be coming to you with lots more content from SolidWorks World 2019. Make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube.